Hello there, my very good friends. This is an unusual setting, isn't it? But an unusual occurrence calls for an unusual setting, I guess. I'm Andy from What Culture Wrestling. And no, the title is not a typo. It's not fake, it's not work, it's none of that. CM Punk has left All Elite Wrestling. He's done, he's gone, he's finished with the promotion. The 2-year love affair, love-hate affair is probably a better description of what this has eventually become, with many ups and downs and backstage fights and arguments and controversies and politicking and everything else, and the guy kind of turning into Hulk Hogan a little bit towards the end. It's over. It's finished. It's done. AEW has released an official statement on this matter. I'll just read the whole thing to you, and then we'll break it down a little bit, get into some of the finer points, whatever. Here's the AEW statement. All Elite Wrestling has terminated the wrestler and employment contract between Phillip Brooks and AEW with cause effective immediately. The termination was confirmed today by Tony Khan, CEO, General Manager, and Head of Creative of AEW. Okay, so let's go through that first paragraph real quick to start off. With cause is the key line there, the key couple of words in there. Because that tells you straight away that they're not just booting him for no reason. Something has come up, something has occurred, and as we all know, this man was involved in a backstage fracas with one Jack Perry at Wembley last weekend. So let's keep reading this thing. The termination follows a week-long internal investigation of an incident occurring backstage at AEW All in London on Sunday, August 27th. There you go, Wembley. I could have written this statement for you, Tony Khan. Following the investigation, the AEW Discipline Committee met and later convened with outside legal counsel before making a unanimous recommendation to Khan that CM Punk be terminated with cause. So there you go. It follows the investigation into the Jack Perry incident, of which there were, 7 or 8 different accounts on that one. Who was to blame, who started it, who threw the first punch, who made the first shove, who did, who who left, who didn't leave. It was all over the place. Now we have something concrete. And we've got a statement here from Khan himself to just kind of go over this. Phil played an important role within AEW, and I thank him for his contributions. The termination of his AEW contracts with cause is ultimately my decision and mine alone. Of course, I wish I didn't have to share this news, which may come as a disappointment to many of our fans. Yeah, I'm one of those fans, Tony. Nonetheless, I am making the decision in the best interests of the many amazing people who make AEW possible every week. Our talent, staff, venue operators, and many others, whose efforts are unsung but essential to bringing our fans great shows on television and at arenas and stadiums throughout the world. There's your Tony Khanisms towards the end there. So CM Punk gone from AEW. The statement there from Tony is quite telling, I think. Look, this was inevitable. This was inevitable. It didn't matter if it happened today or not. Or it could have happened next week, it could have happened a month from now, it could have happened a year from now. This was always going to be the way this relationship ended, because of the way things have gone over the past year or so. Of course, the 2 big flashpoints that we have with Mr. Punk are last year, Brawl Out, scrapping with the Elite after the incendiary press conference comments. Kenny Omega got bit on the arm and Ace Steel got his job back, okay. And then, of course, at Wembley, the Jack Perry incident, again, there were so many different accounts of that. But when it came out earlier this week from Fightful Select, that there was footage of this incident because Wembley has cameras everywhere, you knew that you were going to get something definitive from this. And while Tony obviously doesn't say outright, that definitive thing obviously has led... whatever they found in there clearly must have involved something or other. I don't know. It's too vague, this whole thing so far to break down. But summarizing his career in AEW is going to be it's going to take a while. Certainly a lot longer than I have on this video here at Check's Watch, 10:15 in the evening in my house while I have a head cold. He came into the company in August 2021. It was a sensational return, memorable night in Chicago. Worked with Darby Allin straight off the whip. Enters feuds with the likes of MJF, wrestles people like Powerhouse Hobbs at Grand Slam, and a bunch of other people. Memorable stuff. The MJF feud in particular is one that will stay with me. In 2022, early 2022, is like a major highlight of this era of wrestling, and just brilliance from both men. It was real, it was visceral. It's what you get with CM Punk at his finest, and what followed a few months later was obviously CM Punk at his worst. standing there just spitting fire all over the company while his billionaire boss sat next to him at the media scrum after All Out, which obviously sparked the backstage incident with the Elite. And it's clear, obviously, he got injured wrestling Jon Moxley that night as well. So regardless of the indefinite suspension Punk was served, he was going to be out for a long time. He comes back this June, and it only takes a couple of weeks, and we hear reports of people being banned from the Collision locker room, and Ace Steel's back, and all this stuff. Christopher Daniels, head of talent relations, you can't come to Collision because guess what? CM Punk doesn't like you very much. And look, the tone of this video so far, I'm aware is going to sound very anti-Punk. That's not the case. I love CM Punk. I've always loved CM Punk. I think he is, look, to use his own words, one of the best in the world. He makes professional wrestling feel real and dangerous. And yeah, sometimes, there's a few sloppy elements to his work here and there, but to me that doesn't really matter because it makes it feel less glossy, less polished, less manufactured. But, despite my fondness for his work, and it looks like the Samoa Joe match in Wembley is going to be his last one in AEW, he has obviously caused problems in this company. That cannot be denied. I'm not one of these people who sits there and goes, yeah, I support this person in this argument, or I'm going to support the Elite, I'm going to support Punk, whatever, Jack Perry. I wasn't in the room, so I can't really support anyone in all of this. But obviously, AEW's investigation has produced results, and those results can't be too complimentary to Mr. Phil Brooks if this is what has happened from it. I guess there'll be a lot of questions coming out of this. There'll be, will he wrestle again? Will he go to WWE? I find that very doubtful myself for myriad reasons. Number one, it would be motivated by spite, and that never ends well. Number two, him and Triple H haven't exactly been the best of friends in the past. Obviously, there's a lot of money to be made, but this latest CM Punk run has shown that he's a volatile guy, man. He's a volatile guy, and incidents like this are going to occur. WWE is painted as quite a happy, harmonious place these days. How would that go with him there? I don't know, but I'd like to see it. Don't get me wrong, as a fan of the guy's work and everything else. But yeah, you look at AEW now, however, and you think, okay, well, it's clear that Punk and the Elite were never going to work together. Maybe Punk and Hangman as well. That was causing problems backstage. Maybe now we can begin some kind of healing process. Maybe now the person that pissed lots of people off, and he's got plenty of friends in the company as well, it should be said. I think the Collision roster is quite telling in that regard. And there are a lot of people who are loyal to CM Punk. CM Punk strikes me as the kind of guy who, if he likes you and you get on, he'll be your closest friend in the entire world. But when you give him even the slightest reason to make him feel affronted, he scorches your whole entire planet, like some kind of Warhammer 40k planetary destruction thing. That was a really nerdy reference, I'm sorry. But we're going to wrap this one up. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more on this situation because I'm pretty sure there will be more coming out of this. How the heck could there not be? But hey, let us know what you think down in the comment section below. Sorry for the weird setting. It's 10:15 at night. I've got a cold. What do you want? I'm not going to the office. See you tomorrow, guys. We'll talk about this some more. Bye.